So is there anything before we leave today that you want to ask this man?
Yes. I'm a big fan of like your pace. So I would say like, what was that something that you always had, or like what really slowed the game? Like when did you start to slow the game down?
Honestly, what changed for me, obviously my first couple years was built off my athleticism and, you know, just feeling like I was invincible. I can run through a wall. And honestly, I don't think I had pace. It was all just happening naturally, just being young, being youthful, being able to fly around, jump out the gym, all of that stuff, right? It didn't happen until after I got injured and I broke my leg and I set out and watched the game from the sideline. And, you know, crazy enough, I used to put myself in situations watching the team play like, oh, I would have done that differently, or had I slow down right here, or I was just running through so many. It was almost like I was playing mentally while watching from the sideline, right? And so when I came back, that applied to me now because, you know, it took some time for me to gain trust in my body, to gain how to move and jump and all of this stuff. But I was still out there practicing and playing. So that's when I realized, like, all right, I got to be a little bit more smarter because I don't have that burst right now. I don't have that quick step. I don't have that athleticism right now. So the game literally slowed down for me. And I think that's kind of when I realized, like, changing the tempo, like, you know, how to play fast and then slow down, catch my defender off guard, and then now speed up. Like, it was learning my cadence, you know. And I would say that was the biggest jump for me on understanding how to play at my pace, let alone from the team's pace. The team plays at a certain pace. I get it. We want to play fast, cool. Or we want to slow it down, cool. That's the team's pace. But when I have the ball or if I'm in scoring opportunities, now the game's going to be played at my pace. And with that is just, you know, reading, you know, help side defense. And you probably look at it the same way, right? I don't ever look at the person in front of me guarding.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's always seeing the next play. Who's behind him? Where's the help going to come from? Where's the low man at? Where's the nail help? And so it was always reading that person. And once I realized that, then I started to understand, like, all right, I could fake this way and then quick snatch, go back the other way, because that's where I'm really trying to go. So to answer that question, that all started to develop after the big injury. And, you know, I was sidelined and had to just watch from a boot and you know, tuxedo on, or not a tuxedo, but a suit on. So yeah, to answer that.
That's crazy.
We talked about the level of focus you have, right? And then Jackie brought up, or Dallas actually brought up, the stars that do come out to watch you, and still you maintain this level of focus. We've heard it from WNBA players, NBA players. They attest highly of how, you know, focused you are. When you look at this season and what you've done, and now you're going on to your sophomore year, where are you in particular, like, pinpointing where can I get better?
Just knowing, like, I'm a high volume shooter. I think efficiency is definitely the next step in my game. So that's definitely something that I'm working on. Just, I guess, just enhancing, like, my efficiency, being more precise about where I shoot the ball and stuff like that.
How do you decipher from, like, because when you watch Caitlin, right, she shoots, she has the Steph range, right? Like, are you looking at that like, oh, I need to maybe add that to my bag, or let me extend the floor a little bit? Yeah,
I mean, range is definitely something that that's a constant process of like working on. But I would say I'm kind of different in a sense that like I have my slots, and like if you could give me the ball in my slots, it's like ISO, you know,
kill
stuff
spots.
Like that. Like I could pull the transition 3, stuff like that. But I'm more of a spots person, I would say.
Gotcha.
What's your go-to move? Like, do you have a move? Because when I've watched you play, you look very fluent and you're kind of just going based on what the defense is giving to you. But do you have like a favorite like go-to move? Like, all right, I got to get a bucket here. Like, is it you like to go left? You like to go right? Like, what's your go-to? Like, you need to get a bucket.
You can't tell her tricks. Come on, Dallas.
I would say Euro. I love a Euro.
Okay,
like,
there we
didn't
go.
I say it?
There we go.
It's just so tough.
She cold.
Called
That
it.
one.
I
see you got a strong leg. Cause I couldn't keep doing it as much as you do it.
I love cause you're, and I do it too. You get into the twitchy, you know, twitchy step back. Like I love watching that. You don't see that much from the women's game of having that kind of handle, that twitchiness. When did you develop that? Like, because I do it too. Like, and people like, oh, he's twitchy, but then I've never seen it in like, you know, women doing it, and you're taking it to that next step.
I think over the summer, I've been working on my pace a lot and more like shiftiness. I think this summer that was like the next step in my game, and I just kept working on it, and like repping it in practice and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, it looks comfortable. I mean, you pulled it out in you know, in the tournament run. You obviously pulled it out and, you know, displayed it during the regular season. So I can't wait to see more of it and that, you know, take another step to it. I know Melo compared you recently to Maya Moore. For you personally, who was, you know, that person for you that you idolized or you want to compare your game to?
I would say Candace Parker. I grew up watching her at the Sparks, and I just fell in love with her game, and like her versatility. So I would say I always like apply that to my game, like trying to be more versatile, get in the post more. And
okay, CP, shout out CP.
CPZ.
Football free agency might already have you hyped for next season, but while kickoff is a long ways out, you can already pick more or less on 2024 season stats on Prize Picks. Season totals for passing yards, receiving touchdowns, sacks, you name it, we've got it.
Download the app today and use code PODCASTP for a first deposit matchup to $100. I want to make sure y'all heard me. Once again, $100. Use the code PODCASTP for a first deposit matchup to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.